what's up guys? We're back at the old setup for a second because this was a very unexpected video. I was not expecting to make this video. It kind of just happened. I had a DM interaction and I just felt like this was something that I want all of you guys to know. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a classic Nadja rant, but because we are new and improved this year on this channel, you know, we're not just gonna be Nadja sitting on the couch. I'm gonna be showing y'all pictures, all that stuff. Basically what this video is about is vaping in 2020. Address some things that I did not address last year. I did make a video on vaping when people started going to the hospital, but I just didn't post it. And the reason why I didn't post it is because it was such like a fear frenzy that nobody really knew what was going on. Doctors didn't know what was going on. The only thing people knew was that these people vaped. I just wanted to sit back and wait for science to say like, what is the common denominator? People were trying to say that the common denominator was the vapes, but it's not, because there's tons of us in this country that vape and we're not sick. So the fact that in the media they were just using vaping as the common denominator, just I knew that there was more that was gonna come out. Not sick, never felt sick. And these people that are in the hospital had been vaping for way shorter than I have. You know, I just started vaping in what, 2016? These people just started vaping like 3 months ago and they're in the fucking hospital. So something's not right. I started getting bombarded with DMs and stuff because you guys know I vape. Like I vaped on this channel, I've never really hit it. The reason why I started vaping is because I was smoking Black and Milds. I did not want to smoke Black and Milds anymore, so I went on to vaping. We did not have Juuls and vapes when I was in high school. Like if you use one of those, you were viewed as like kind of weird. And I'm not even that old, I'm only 23. I'm just trying to let y'all know, I'm not one of those people that was like,
this looks cool, let me do it, because all of my friends are doing it.
Like no, I just started vaping because I was already smoking something. I want to get fucking cancer because I realized like, okay, this is not okay. I moved on to vaping, okay? That's how I started vaping. Now, when I started vaping, I started out on a 6 milligram of nicotine. For those of you guys that don't know, I do not Juul. I've never Juuled. I've never liked Juuling. Juuling never tasted good to me. It tasted very peppery, and I tried it one time and it was just so much nicotine, and I was like, no, this isn't for me. Because mind you guys, even though I smoke blacks, I probably only smoke like 2 blacks a day, which is still a lot, but I was never the type to be smoking pack of cigarettes. I was never even a cigarette person. Like I tried to see if I liked cigarettes in college, I didn't. I was never on that type of thing, right? So yeah, I started out on 6 milligrams of nicotine. I know people that are on 12 milligrams of nicotine. I started out on 6, and that has worked for me for 3 years. Then last year is when the whole vape thing started happening. All this stuff is all over the news, all over the news. People are freaking out, you guys are freaking out, my family's freaking out about me. Everybody's just freaking the fuck out because all that the news is telling people is that it's just vapes, okay? So then finally, some of the victims did come up and confess and say, I mix THC pods with Juul pods. They would even buy THC pods that were Juul pods previously, but some dude on the street rigged it and put THC oil in it.
Adam told us he'd been vaping for 2 years, addicted, he said, to the buzz it gave him from nicotine, then the high from marijuana, or THC, its primary ingredient.
How do you get that? You know, the THC.
I got it from like a drug dealer or whatever.
Did he assure you it was
Sure.
okay?
Sure, yeah.
But you don't know
Right.
whether it was okay or not.
Right.
The 18-year-old going viral with this photo from her hospital bed, a tube still pumping oxygen to her failing lungs. In her hands, a call to action.
Asked for like a pen and paper because that was the only way I could communicate. And I wrote, I want to start a no vaping campaign. That was the first thing I did when I opened my eyes.
Dima was an active, healthy teen. She'd been dancing for years, even making dance team her freshman year of college. But as her vaping habit increased, adding in cannabis, her ability to dance disappeared.
As Justin recovers at home,
I feel awesome.
they're sending a strong message.
Be careful, for sure.
Don't risk it.
It's just so new. Nobody really knows right now.
Justin also vapes THC, but
one local man is now sharing his story about THC vaping, how it landed him in the ER and changed his life.
Matt doesn't want us to use his full face or full name because THC or marijuana is still illegal in Illinois, but he wanted to share his story as a warning for everyone. Matt admits he didn't buy his THC vape cartridges from a store. You can't in Illinois until next year. He got his from a dealer.
Vape oil in itself is dangerous to mix up with the nicotine levels and the sugars and all that stuff. So if you're somebody on the street and you're mixing it up, like, you can't depend that they're not going to hurt you. What happened is somebody made a bad batch of THC cartridges. All these kids were getting them off the street, and now they're getting these lung issues. So a lot of guys were admitting, yeah, I vape the THC, yeah, I vape the THC, yeah, I vape the THC, but still the news outlets, nobody wants to acknowledge that that's what's going on. I had 5 of y'all that have confirmed and told me yourselves that you were in the hospital for this situation and that you smoked THC cartridges, like that you mixed your shit. So I'm seeing this on the news, I'm seeing this in my DMs, but at the same time, all I keep getting is, Nadja, you're gonna die, everyone you know is gonna die, if you vape, you're gonna die, you're dead, blah, 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 blah. Newsflash, we're gonna die anyway, but that's a different existential video. All I'm trying to say is, like, damn, I was waiting for somebody to make the connections, mainly a scientist or a medical professional, to come on the television and say something, you know? And sure enough, they came along and said, we're gonna be banning certain flavors because kids are attracted to the fruities and all that stuff. And then they confirmed that the reason why these people were getting sick is because there was an overdose of, I wanna say, vitamin E or D. I will put it on the screen, I'm not sure. But these people that were making these street cartridges obviously are not trained properly to do so, so they were putting too much of this vitamin into this inhalant, which is toxic to the human body because we're not used to inhaling that vitamin, which causes lung issues because there's never any situation where you would be, a human being would be inhaling that. You get what I'm saying? So now your body is starting to react negatively, starting to shut down. Doctors are confused because what human being overdoses on vitamin, like, you get what I'm saying?
2/3, or actually 3/4 of folks who had these illnesses were using THC-containing products. 57% reported using nicotine-containing products, but some were using both, of course. Only 16% were only using nicotine-containing products. So public health officials are working quickly to try to identify common threads, but as of right now, it does look like related to THC from people, acquiring them sort of informally off the street from friends and family, things like that.
The fact that this is so new, how were you able to figure it out?
We were lucky to have the mom find the cartridge and bring it to us, and that's how we correlated vaping to his condition.
Many patients have reported vaping THC oils, which come packaged in cartridges like these. These were given to Dr. Perzada by her patient's family.
Do you know where the patients are getting the cartridges to begin with?
They all say that a friend gave me, or I was at a party and I just got my hands on it. We don't know where they are getting.
This event that we're going to tonight just seems to be a group of vendors that have gathered together informally in one place so they can sell their vape cartridges. This is the illicit market for THC vape oil.
Regardless, I'm gonna be so honest with y'all, even though it was confirmed that these kids were getting sick because they were mixing illegal THC cartridges as well as non-FDA approved vape oils because these kids don't have access to these vape oils because now they have nicotine addictions. And after all of these people in my DMs that I've been talking to while they're at the hospital and shit, it just made me want to not do it anymore. Like, it just really made me want to say, hey, I want to see if I can try to not vape anymore. Like, and I tried it for a day because I remember when I first started, it was so easy for me to put my vape down for a whole day and not really care about it. And I noticed, like, when I said that to myself and I tried to stop, lo and behold, duh, bitch, you have a fucking nicotine addiction. And I'm like, damn, like, all I keep thinking about is, like, let me, vape or whatever. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go to the vape shop and I'm gonna do this the right way. I'm gonna treat myself as if I'm actually weaning off of cigarettes or something. So I went to the vape shop and I bought a lower dosage of nicotine, and I've just slowly been lowering my dosage over time, right? So I'm thinking I'm doing a good job. Until I noticed, like, when I take my medication, and if you guys know what my medication is, I noticed I was like, I'm over here thinking that I'm stopping my addiction, but what, if you guys can catch my drift, what I am consuming my medication with, if you guys can catch my drift, I live in the state of Florida, just, you know. The thing that I'm consuming my medication with also has tobacco, which has nicotine, so I'm still getting my fix. And then I just was like, okay, I gotta stop. Like my brain, like that's when I realized like, wow, my brain is really craving this and like it's justifying reasons. Like, and I was like, wow, this is really bad. So I cut those things out of my medicine intake. I mainly did that because that was familiar to me on how to consume my medicine. I started using papers. I started doing that. I noticed that the cravings got worse, and like that's when I was like, okay, maybe I don't need to lower it down so much, because I kind of went like drastically, because I'm not gonna, y'all know me, bro, I'm a cold turkey ass bitch. I went vegan cold turkey. I started doing workout plans cold turkey. I will do, like, I'm a cold turkey ass bitch, like, but with that I just couldn't do it, and I had to just realize with myself that it's okay that you can't do it like overnight. You get what I'm saying? And I got a DM from somebody, and I know that they meant this with like the greatest intention, so I'm not trying to bash them. They came at me and they were basically just like, I understand that you're trying to wean off, but you should really just stop. That's like telling somebody, I know you're obese, but maybe you should just stop eating. Or that's like being like, I know you have a gambling addiction, maybe you should just not gamble. Send me a picture of like a girl in the hospital with lung problems from vaping. Looked like a propaganda post, I didn't click on it. Skirt, skirt. So this is future Nadja right now, the Nadja that is in a rush to get this video up on time Nadja right now. And I just wanted to explain what I meant by the propaganda. This is my theory, conspiracy, allegedly just a girl with an overly big furry jacket and a nappy ponytail. Don't, you know, just my opinions. My conspiracy or my propaganda that I think they're doing is that instead of spreading the truth about what's going on, that it is the THC cartridges, they are just making it an attack on big tobacco, which I don't mind, girl. They're making a huge attack on big tobacco to divert it, because the marijuana business is so big in our country right now. What was it? Chicago made 3.5 million in a day, or 1.5 million, don't quote me. I'll put it on the screen. Chicago made hella money the first day they did that shit recreationally. Florida's economy, like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, they're not gonna put it on blast the way that they're saying get these vapes out of here, because a lot of, and I know it may not seem that way, but I live in a conservative ass state. These conservatives want their weed sold, okay? That's all I'm gonna say with that. Back to your video. I already know, like I just explained to y'all, I already know what the fuck's going on with the vaping and the propaganda and all that stuff, and I'm already making changes with myself. She did say like you should just stop. Like what the fuck do you think? Like, girl, I understand like when the brain is used to receiving a certain chemical, like it's not easy to train. You've trained your brain to rely on one chemical, so I'm trying to train my brain to not be dependent on it. It's not like I could just stop with no repercussions. Like, I would be an angrier person, probably won't want to do as much. I'd probably be in bed. I had parents with nicotine addictions. I've seen them quit firsthand. It's not fucking pretty, okay? Like, I'm just blessed in the fact that I am in a generation where I can get FDA approved oils from the store, okay? From the store, approved by the government, approved by the federal government. I feel safer using those to taper myself down than to just quit cold turkey. I'm not trying to say my nicotine dependence is that strong, but you do realize that there are some people who die from quitting addictions cold turkey. A lot of people in the 27 Club, that's what happened to them. I'm not that popping. I'm just letting you know, a lot of greats in our time to get their act together without checking into a publicized rehab and die from quitting cold turkey. Like, I would never advise anybody to do anything unless a doctor tells you to do it. And I just don't think it's, all I wanted to say with that is if somebody is trying to get over something, especially in the opioid epidemic right now, I'm pretty sure you guys have at least like 10 friends that you can name off the top of your head that has an addiction problem with something. The best thing to not say is, instead of doing programs and steps for yourself, why not just stop? Like, please don't do that to people, because if they could just stop, don't you think they would just stop, you know? Like, that's all I wanted to say with that. Like, I'm not trying to get on a girl, because I understand. She was basically just like, I need to be a role model for people and that I should stop vaping. And it's just like, I've stopped showing my vape on camera because I know that getting off of something realistically is going to take time. Yes, I still vape today. Duh, I still have a fucking nicotine addiction. Like, I can't be that role model right now, but in time I will be able to be. But this isn't magic. This is real life. Like, I have to do it first before I can come on here and try to inspire or be a person to look up to. I have to do it first. I can't expedite that process just so I can be the YouTube golden child for the vape epidemic. You get what I'm saying? I actually got to put in that work for myself. And that's really the only reason why I got so passionate about this and why I want to talk about this, is because I get DMs all the time of people where it's a backhanded compliment. Not saying sis sent me a backhanded compliment. I'm not calling her out personally. But in my DMs, I get a lot of backhanded compliments from people saying,
oh, it's cool you're quitting, but you need to quit faster because people are dying, or you're gonna die, or you need to hurry up because you're gonna die, your boyfriend's gonna die.
We're all gonna fucking die, but can I at least get nicotine out of my system before I do? Like, please, like, and can I do it on my own fucking time? And I've learned my lesson with broadcasting my journeys online, and which is why I don't. And the one time I don't do that, everybody is bombarding me with all this backhanded shit, and that's why I just wanna make this video to let you guys know, yes, I am quitting vaping. Quitting is a process, okay? I have a nicotine addiction. Tell your mama to not drink coffee anymore. Take all the coffee out your house, because I've noticed the majority of the people that are coming at me with this shit are kids, because this shit is affecting kids. So I want to ask you this. Take all the coffee out your mom's house. See how she acts. Nicotine and caffeine, same fucking principles. I just want you to know that I am informed. It's my fault because I did not post my video when it was happening because I wanted to wait to see how it unfolded. But I want you guys to know that I am informed. I want you guys to know that I am actively quitting, okay? As in, this is a process. As in, I'm not gonna tell anybody I've actually quit until I don't need a vape in my hand, okay? That's what I mean by quitting. I don't want any confusion. I don't wanna talk about it. If you guys see me vaping at any point, please mind your own business, okay? Just know I'm working on myself. The same way that I don't talk about my plant-based diet on here, I'm not about to talk about my freaking quitting my habits. You get what I'm saying? Like, I will be that person for you when I actually have grown into that person. Please, if you have never smoked cigarettes or anything like that, please do not take up vaping. That's the whole purpose of why vaping was invented, was to help people with cigarette and tobacco addictions, okay? If you did not smoke tobacco or anything, don't vape. Vaping is still very early. We still don't know what vaping will do to us. Hell, it may be in like 50 years, I might have some problems that we didn't even know about, you know what I'm saying? So please be mindful of that. Just don't. And if you Jewel, you look stupid. I'm out, guys. Peace.